Good morning, students. Welcome to your software engineering class. In the previous video classes, I have discussed about testing phase, and in this video class, I will discuss about black box testing. As I have discussed earlier, there are two approaches of testing, that is black box testing and white box testing based on the test cases. Black box testing is a method with which we only check the functionality of the software. We don't go through the internal structure of the software. It only checks the functionality as specified in the SRS document. So it is named as black box testing. So let's start. Contents of this video are testing approaches, black box testing, and approaches to design black box test cases, equivalence class partitioning, and boundary value analysis. Summary of the black box test suite design. So let's start. Testing approaches. Test can be conducted based on two approaches. First one is functionality testing and second one is implementation testing. When functionality is being tested without taking the actual implementation in concern, it is known as black box testing. Means when only the functionality is tested and the internal structure, the internal program are not tested, it only tests the functionality, means what will be the output, what will be the input, and what should be the output as specified in the SRS document. Okay, and the test cases are designed using only the functional specification of the software, that is without any knowledge of the internal structure of the software. That is known as black box testing. Means it only tests the functionality of the software without the knowledge of internal structure. But in the other side is known as white box testing, where not only the functionality is tested, but the way it is implemented is also analyzed. Means white box testing tests all the internal structure, all the internal programming of the program code of the software. White box test cases require a thorough knowledge of the internal structure of software. Okay, means to test the white box, the programmer should know the internal structure, thorough knowledge of the programming. Okay, then the tester or programmer can design the test cases of white box testing. So black box testing is the functionality, check the functionality of the software, but white box check both the functionality and the implementation of the software. And in this video class, I will discuss about black box testing. So let's start about black box testing. Black box testing is a software testing method in which the functionality of a software application are tested without having knowledge of internal code structure, implementation detail, and internal path. Means it only tests the functionality of the software without the knowledge of internal structure. Black box testing mainly focuses on input and output of the software application. It is entirely based on software requirement and specification. Means it only focuses on what is the input and what should be the output as specified in the SRS document. Okay. So test cases are designed here looking at the functional specification. We do not need to look at the code here. Means in black box testing, it doesn't concern about the code. It only concern about the output. Okay, what should be the input what should be the input in the black box testing and what should be the output of the system. It doesn't concern about the internal structure. So it is known as black box testing. Next, approaches to design black box test cases. Means there are two approaches to design to check the black box testing. In two methods we can design the test cases. The first one is equivalence class and equivalence class partitioning, and the second one is boundary value analysis. So let's discuss about equivalence class partitioning. Equivalence class partitioning is a software testing technique or black box testing that divide input domain into classes of data, and with the help of these classes of data, test cases can be derived. Okay, means the input domain of a system, of a software, is divided into different classes. Okay, then from these classes we design the test cases. An ideal test cases identify classes of error that might require many arbitrary test cases to be executed before general error is observed. Means a good test case can be generate or can be generate the error quickly. Okay. Then some guideline for equivalence class partitioning. If the range condition is given as an input, okay, means if the input is a range, then one valid and two invalid equivalence classes are defined. Means in the test case we define one valid input and two invalid input, and if a specific value is given, then one valid and two invalid equivalence classes are defined. If a member of a set is given, okay, if a member of a set is given, then one valid and one invalid equivalence classes are defined. And if Boolean number is given and Boolean number is given as an input condition, then one valid and one invalid equivalence classes are defined. Means if the input is a range, then the test case have one valid input and two invalid input. Likewise, if the input is a Boolean number, then the test case have one valid and one invalid input. So let's see an example. This is the figure of equivalence class partitioning. Means in input set we give some valid input and some invalid input. As a result, it will display some output, like for valid input it will show the valid output, and for invalid input it will show an invalid or some error message. So this is the example. Let us consider an example of any college admission process. There is a college that gives admission to student based upon their percentage. Consider the percentage field that will accept percentage only between 50 to 90. Okay, means it will store only 50 to 90. It will accept the percentage between 50 to 90%. More and even less than not be accepted. An application will redirect user to error page. If percentage entered by the user is less than 50%, okay, less than 50 and more than 90, the equivalence partitioning method will show an invalid percentage. If the percentage entered in between the 50 to 90%, then equivalent partitioning method will show the valid percentage. Means in this case, if the percentage is in between the 50 to 90, in between 50 to 90, then it is the valid range, and less than 50 and greater than 90 is the invalid range. And we should design a test case. This is a range condition, range input. So we should design the test case having one valid input and two invalid input. So this is the page that accept the percentage. Okay, here it will accept the percentage, and we design the case having one valid and two invalid. So invalid is 41, that is invalid, and we can go for a valid input, that is 68, percentage is 68, and 94, that is also invalid. So we may design the test cases having one valid and two invalid value. Okay, so invalid is less than 50 and greater than 90. This equal to is error. So this error can be checked in the boundary value analysis. Okay, so we will discuss later on. So this is the test case for this 41, 68 and 94. One valid input and two invalid input. Okay. Then there is a next example for a software that compute the square root of an input integer which can assume value in the range 0 to 500. Means it is a software that generates square root for the number between 0 to 500. Means it is also a range 0 to 500. Okay, this is a range, and there are three equivalence classes, because for a range, one valid and two invalid. So the set of negative integer is the set of negative integer means -1, -2, these things are less than 0, and the integer between 0 to 5000, that is valid, and greater than 5000, that is also invalid. So therefore the test case must include two invalid and one valid, that is -5 is invalid and 6000 is invalid and 500 is valid. Okay, so this is the example of equivalence class partitioning. How can we design the test case for the equivalence class partitioning? Okay, and the next method is boundary value analysis. Boundary value analysis is one of the widely used case design technique for black box testing. It is used to test boundary value because the input value near the boundary have higher chance of error. Okay, means near the boundary the programmer may write some error. Whenever we do the testing by boundary value analysis, the tester focus on while entering boundary value whether the software is producing correct output or not. Okay, so in boundary value analysis, the tester or the programmer always test the boundary value. So this is the error of boundary value. Here the programmer should write less than 50 and here only greater than 90. The programmer here it has make a mistake of greater than equal to and less than equal to. So this can be analyzed in boundary value analysis. Okay. So for example, programmers may improperly use less than instead of less than equal to, or conversely less than equal to for boundary value analysis, leads to selection of test cases at the boundary of the different equivalence classes. So to check the boundary value, we have to enter the input of less than of the boundary and exactly at the boundary. Okay, for a function, this is an example of boundary value analysis. For a function that compute the square root of integer value in the range of 0 to 5000, the test case must include the following: 0, -1, 5000 and 5001. Here 0 and 5000, these both are the boundary value. Okay, means this is the 0 and 5000. These are the boundary values, so it will give the correct output. And -1 and 5001, these are the invalid value and it must display the error message. So by this we can check the boundary value. This is another example of boundary value. Imagine there is a function that accepts a number between 18 to 30. Okay, the number accepted in between 18 to 30, where 18 is the minimum and 30 is the maximum value of valid partition. The other value of this partition are, these are the valid partition, and the invalid partition which is less than 80 and greater than 30. So here the valid portion is in between 80 to 30. This is the valid portion. Okay, 18 to 30, this is the valid portion and these are the invalid portion. So we can design a test case that include the boundary value like 18, okay, and 30, and some invalid value like 17 and 31. So by this way we can check the functionality of the software by using these two methods of black box testing. First one is equivalence class partitioning, where we can partition the input domain into different classes and check the system by giving some input and some valid input and some invalid input. And the second one is the boundary value analysis, in which we focus on the boundary range of the input and check it through some invalid and valid test cases. So this is all about your black box testing, and summary of the black box test suite design is: examine the input and output value of the program, identify the equivalence classes, means what are the equivalence classes of the program, then design the test cases corresponding to the equivalence class testing and boundary value analysis. Okay, so this is all about the black box testing. In next class we will discuss about white box testing. Thank you.